Joe, and we're about to take it now to another level. It's about to really heat up here because we're about to talk about his man, LeBron James, who spoke out yesterday for, I guess, the first time since this forced layoff. And he was on the Road Trippin' podcast, as we all know, featuring his ex-Cavalier teammates, Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye. And he said several things that we're going to get to. But the first thing that grabbed my eyes when I read about it last night was a statement he made about, he said that the narrative that he doesn't like the most during this layoff is, and I'm quoting LeBron on this, oh, LeBron, he's 35. He's got so many minutes on his body. Now he gets so much rest. And this is still LeBron talking. It's actually the opposite for me because my body, when we stopped playing, was asking me like, what the hell are you doing? It's March 13th. You're getting ready for the playoffs. Why are you shutting it down right now? And then finally, LeBron added, I felt like I was rounding third base, getting ready for the postseason. So the rest factor, I think, is a little bit overblown. Huh? Really? I think I know where Shannon's going to go here, but I'm going to ask him up first. Do you agree with what LeBron said about not needing any rest?
Well, I think the thing is, Skip, as an athlete, you get into a routine. You wake up, you eat, you do what you normally do, and then all of a sudden you get taken out of that routine. And I think the thing for him, Skip, is that LeBron knows his body. He had paced himself. They had done a great job. Frank Vogel had done a great job with LeBron minutes, playing the fewest minutes. And I know he's still top 15, top 16 in minutes played, but it's the fewest minutes he's played in his career. So as we can see, the minutes were gradually going down. But Skip, he was in an unbelievable rhythm. And like he said, I'm rounding third, coming home, about to put that Pete Rose, Skip, that head first dive in the home plate, take out Foss in the All-Star game. Who's showing did he separate in the All-Star game? Ray Fosse, okay.
Ray
so
Fosse,
he's like, yeah, he said, that's what I was getting ready to do. And then all of a sudden, abruptly, it came to an end. Skip, is tough. It's kind of like, when we go on vacation for a week to get back into it. Now, imagine going on a vacation for 3 months and trying to get back into playing at a very, very high level, because that's what they're going to ask these guys to do. I do believe they're going to have a continuation of the season and start the playoffs. Now, what I also agree with, Skip, you be asking an awful lot. That the season's over with, where we are, we have 1 through 8, and you just start playing playoff basketball. I totally agree with LeBron James on this. That would be absolutely a disaster. You have to start all over. Finish these last 20 games. Let us go on and win our 60-plus games. But I agree with LeBron, Skip. It's tough getting out of a rhythm. You've been playing every game, every other night, twice a week, 3 times a week, and then all of a sudden you get out of that routine. So I agree with LeBron. It's probably difficult for him, but I watch him on IG. He's still getting that work in.
Yeah, who knows what he's doing just because he puts up a quick little 1-minute video on IG. You have
There you go, Skip. There you go, Skip.
I'll get to LeBron's remarks about potential playoffs in just a moment, but I want to go back to what he says is this wrong, false narrative about how he really didn't need any rest. So here's my point. I believe that LeBron James is at it again. Maybe I'm being presumptuous about this, but I believe he's been watching us on Undisputed. I'm going to guess, or maybe educated guess, that he heard my take that this forced layoff that came out of nowhere and it's way out of everybody's control, I believe it was the best thing that's ever happened to LeBron as a basketball player this season. And the reason is that it's great for the Lakers and LeBron, and it's terrible for their biggest threat, the Clippers. But let's stay on LeBron here. I believe that yesterday on the Road Trippin' podcast, he was planting, as he so beautifully and shrewdly does, another excuse. If we do have playoffs, he wanted to plant the excuse with his billions of blind witness followers out there that, hey, everybody, this is hurting me. I'm not going to be right for the playoffs because I lost my rhythm. I was rounding third base, and now I got to go all the way back to home plate and start over again and try to get to first base. I am calling baloney on LeBron James. This was the best thing that's ever happened to him because he was on this hell-bent push to win MVP. And I gave it up to him, Shannon. I said, I gave it up to you. You're right. He is winning MVP. I still believe he has won MVP, depending on how much of the regular season is left. If it's little to no, I still think he's going to get a lot of runaway votes at the end of the year for comeback player of the year combined with MVP, which will equal MVP. And he needed a rest because, remember, he had played 209 more minutes than any other Laker. Think about that. That per game, he was the 15th highest player in the league. Now, again, career-wise, he's down. I think it's actually a career low minutes per game. But that's because he's been playing, but he's been playing outrageous minutes, like kamikaze, death-defying minutes. He's all, remember, this is kind of hard to process without me like putting up a graphic about it, but think about this. LeBron has already played regular season and playoffs 58,378 minutes. Just think about this. Just do 58,000 minutes. That's the third most in the history of this league behind Kareem and Karl Malone. And I do think LeBron has a good chance of catching and passing both Karl and Kareem in all-time minutes played. Well, it's so many minutes. It's so much wear and tear on your body. And he was on such a push to win MVP in the big games against Milwaukee and then against the Clippers in Game 3, which they finally won, the first of their 3 games that they won against the Clippers, that he needed a rest. And he got a forced rest. And the last thing the Clippers needed was a rest. Because, Kawhi's got arthritic knees, and he load manages, but and I know that team just got thrown together. And all of a sudden, they just recently added 2 more new pieces in Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson, who are ball-dominant, high-volume shooters. They got to find some chemistry. They got to find some rhythm. They needed reps. And it's a great break for LeBron and the Lakers that the Clippers are getting no reps. It's a great break for the Lakers that the Clippers might get thrown into playoff mode with, 3 or 4 quick games to get ready. So that's a huge advantage for LeBron, but he didn't bring that up, of course. And I still say, because they kept listing him as sore groin, sore groin, sore groin. One game he load managed with the sore groin. But Shannon, and I know, he was on the precipice of getting hurt. So don't tell me, I lost my rhythm. No, tell me that you have the advantage, because I don't want to hear an excuse. He's already saying, if we blow it in the playoffs, I'll just point back to the time we had to get shut down on March the 13th, and it ruined my rhythm. Stop it. I'm not going to let you get away with that, LeBron James.
So let this sink in. I want the people at home that's watching this, and I know there are a million of people. They don't have anything else to do. Unfortunately, they can't go out. They can't do anything. So they're watching us. Well, now, Skip Bayless said yesterday, if LeBron James were to win the title deserves an asterisk because of the abbreviated season. Now, if he loses the title, he has to build an excuse. So how does he ever win with Skip Bayless? You keep telling me I'm hypocritical. The hypocrisy in which comes out of my mouth when I'm talking about Dak Prescott. Elaborate. How does LeBron James ever win with you? Because if he wins the title, it's an asterisk. It's an abbreviated season. If he doesn't win, he has an excuse. I'm trying to figure. I'm confused.
Well, you shouldn't be confused because they're mutually exclusive. They're independent of each other. Obviously, if they have to have an abbreviated playoffs with maybe a first round of a 5-game series, maybe even a 3-game series, it's tainted. It's not the same. It's not 7-game, 7-game, 7-game to the championship. So I'm sorry, it won't be quite the same. It will deserve a big old asterisk above it because it was the COVID-19 championship.
Skip Bayless, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You were covering basketball.
I'm not.
When the first round, no, yes, you were. You were covering basketball when the first round was the best 2 out of 3. The second round was the best 3 out of 5. And the conference finals was the best 4 out of 7. And the finals has always been 4 out of 7. You covered it. No championship was ever mentioned about being tainted when they played 2 out of 3. Or they played 3 out of 5. But now all of a sudden, because of an abbreviated possible season, now LeBron James, you want to taint this man's resume. I'm not going to let you impugn this man's resume. Stop this foolishness, Skip Bayless.
It's already impugned. Now we're back to the other mutually exclusive issue. The issue on the table right now is, does he deserve an excuse if they blow the championship, even in its abbreviated form? Because he was stopped short, stopped cold, and he lost his rhythm. No. And I'm not going to let you or your man, LeBron, get away with this, because you know where I would have given him a break? If on the Road Tripping podcast yesterday, he would have said, you know what? It was really good for me and my body that we got a forced break. And I'm grateful for that. In this time, this tough time for everybody, at least I got a little silver lining here. I was forced to let my body rest. I wanted to hear him say that yesterday.
So in other words, you wanted him to lie. To make Skip Bayless feel better, LeBron, lie to me. Make me, even if it's not true, I want you to lie and say, you know what, this break came at the right time because again, Skip, that's a lie. Why you want the man to lie? To make you feel good.
How do you know it's a lie? Maybe he would be telling the truth. Maybe he's saying behind closed doors, whew, I'm so relieved I got to stop for a while here and get ready for the playoff push. Right? He's Shannon. He's in year 17. It's absurd the wear and tear he's got on his body. This is the greatest break he ever got in his career.
But see, this is what I don't get with you, Skip. Who's a better athlete, Tom Brady or LeBron James? Now, you don't mention anything about Tom Brady going into year 21, him being year 21, being 43 at the start of the season. But all you kind of do, stop this, Skip Bayless. This man spends $2 million a year. He has trainers and physios and everybody on 24-hour call. At a moment's notice, they will come and do whatever. He needs stretching, he needs worked on, he needs a certain type of shake, a certain type of meal. They're on call. The man is in impeccable shape. And all you try to do is find a reason. Skip, there is nothing.
I don't. By the way, doesn't LeBron James make like $100 million a year all told? So he only spends $2 million on his fitness? Come on, you can do better than that, LeBron. I'm just calling him out because I believe in his heart of hearts he knows this was really good for him. I'm sorry. And Shannon, on the other point, LeBron talked about how he doesn't want to come back and play a few regular season games with no crowd. He says, that's hard for me because there's no excitement, there's no joy, there's no crying in the stands. LeBron, you might have to do it for us. You might have to do it for our sake because we have nothing to watch right now. And you, LeBron, are one of the great entertainers in the history of sports. We need you to entertain us at first opportunity. If you guys as basketball players can get back on a floor just by yourselves and find that safe enough with nobody in the stands, you've got to suck it up and do it for us because you're getting paid like $35 million a year to do just that. So LeBron, I don't want to hear you cry about how there'll be no crying in the stands. Go ahead.
And LeBron James will do that. He will play. If that's what's required of him, he will play. But what he wants is he wants to see the opposing crowd. He wants to see them cry. He wants their joy snatched away. He wants them to be excited for 1, 2 in the first, second, and third quarter. And then all of a sudden, he goes on that surge. The Lakers go on this surge. And all of a sudden, the joy and the adulation that they were filled with turns to heartbreak, turns to sadness. That's what he wants. He wants that look on their face. Skip, there ain't nothing like it. There's nothing like the look on somebody's face.
I got it. But obviously and unfortunately, times have changed. Enough of that. Up next, we go straight barbershop on you because we got a great barbershop debate question. Next year, if you could watch one game, would you rather watch Mahomes versus Lamar or Brady versus Breeze? I know what I think. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah.